Sheffield have at full-back Gamson, on the wings Stott and Pixley, centres Price and Fraze, half-backs Powell and Sheridan, front row Broadbent, Jackson and Grimaldi, the back three Maguire, Farrell and Aston. And replacement for the Eagles are Hayes, making his debut. He's on loan, and Dale Lawton. And OKR facing the sword of Damocles in a drop down to the second division. They're running out of matches. The second from the bottom. They're currently lying 15th in the table. The 3 points behind Wakefield and Oldham. So OKR in desperate plight. Desperate straits. It's a do-or-die situation today for OKR. It's their 27th game. They have only 3 games left, and if they lose today, it's almost certain that they will go down. So Mark Aston about to get us away. Today's match official, Mr. Russell Smith. Mr. Russell Smith just checking with his linesman. It's a fine but cool day. What wind there is blowing right to left in favour of the Eagles in the first half. And that's Barkworth with the first touch, meets big defence from Grimaldi and Broadbent and Jackson. Well, the front row early in the action there combined together. Lee Jackson pointing out the runners. Oh, and Farrell takes Lee Jackson's direction and spots his man. He really put a big shoulder then on Hardy. Lee Jackson powering on that tackle. Ball goes back. And measures the last tackle. Eagles wingers drop. And that's a knock on. And that'll be a turnover. Well, that's poor play. Richardson didn't look as though he's going to ever take that ball, and you wonder why he was driving the ball in on the 5th. And lack of communication from the Robins. Broadbent comes with the charge. Plenty of people on defence, but Broadbent gets a good ball away. Anthony Farrell just slips then, just 1 or 2 muddy patches, but the field overall is firm. There's been some rain, just enough to soften it a little bit, but good enough to play on. Linton Stott with his first touch, makes a big run. Eagles 5 metres from the line. Jackson to Powell. Powell toe and through. Aston's on the charge. Wayne Parker covering across, taps the ball over the line. So this will be a line drop out from Hull KR. And the Eagles with a good following this afternoon. It's a long way from Sheffield. They have a sizable following. And all the OKR fans, which are just below us, calling for a knock-on. Well, Mr. Russell Smith checked the near side linesman. The near side linesman didn't indicate anything. He checked the far side linesman. The far side linesman called the knock-on. I'm not sure if Bruce Maguire certainly readjusted the ball. I'm not sure if it actually touched the ground. So Parker with the first scrum. Feeds Colt. I'm sorry, Crane. This is Parker. The Robins into Eagles territory for the first time. Hardy runs the ball in. Eagles with a good line right across the field. That's Richardson. Good defence from Paul Broadbent. Spreading the ball this time, the Robins. Crane, well tackled by Bruce Maguire. Last tackle. That's a high kick. Gamson in good position. Well, the ball floated away from him on the wind, but he recovered well. Good chase from Chamberlain. Chamberlain on a big chase. He was just a touch offside, but on the blind side of Mr. Smith. But it was played onside when Gamson fumbled the ball. It's all on. That's eye contact. Leighton just going high on Richard Price. And that's not a good kick from Mark Gamson. Mike Fletcher takes it on the full. Comes in field, keeps the roll going forward, gets a pass away to Chamberlain. Chamberlain looks to pass. Last tackle. Robbins just short of the quarter line. Parker will put one eye. This time picks us underneath. And that's offside. Or is it interference? No, Mr. Russell Smith ruling a knock on. 5th tackle, so it's a turnover. So the Eagles working the ball out of their own quarter. Nick Alifia then just warmed Nick Grimaldi's lug. Messi play the ball, but it's all on. Richard Price working his way across the field. Just didn't get a chance to straighten. Didn't stop this time, does straighten. And picks a good 5 metres up. Ball this time going to Aston. Puts the ball deep downfield. Well, it seems that the wind has just veered around a little bit from earlier on. It looks as though the wind now is blowing across field, so it's not really favouring either side, and he looks quite strong. And the Eagles pegged this time for offside. Mr. Smith nominating Ryan Sheridan, just jumping the gun. Fletcher puts one in on the Eagles 40 line. Alafii with the first charge. Jackson, Grimaldi and Broadbent bring him down again. The front row working in unison. This time Hardy. Again, looks like Robbins is setting a switch play up. There it goes. Parker this time bringing it to Fletcher. Ball goes to Leighton. Leighton throws one wide over the top. Richardson with the ball, and he's tackled. Well, good ball movement from the Robins. Eagles having to work in defence. That's Charlesworth, well tackled by his opposite centre, Richard Price. Well, Parker going to the skies, but that's too heavy. Way out dead. "20 minutes gone. The Robins lead by 2 points. Anthony Farrell hits the line. Looking a handful for this Robins defence is Anthony Farrell. Scored a great try here last season. And Ryan Sheridan just getting isolated and no real direction. Paid the penalty, got driven back. Lee Jackson's gone. Beautiful play from Lee Jackson. Ghosting through that heart of the Robins defence. Long ball to Powell. Powell to Gamson. Gamson comes. Tackled by Hutchinson. Aston this time switches. That'll be offside. No question. One or two players then just having a tea break. When Mark Aston came back, nobody really kept alive. 2 or 3 players switched off. Fletcher puts the ball in. 5 metres over the half, and Alafiyi comes with a big run. And that's play on. Mr. Smith ruling the ball had been lost and not stolen. This time a penalty for not releasing early enough. Bruce Maguire. Well, the Eagles just really can't afford to be giving so many penalties away. A lot of pressure now being applied by the Robins. And that's a bad mistake from Paul Fletcher. And that'll be the first knock on. First offence, that will be an Eagles scrum. Sheridan, feed Stott. Ball Broadbent comes. That's a good run from Broadbent, straight from the scrum. Ken with pace and power. This time Grimaldi is co-prop. Well, that's good work from the front row. Jackson's gone. He has Powell. He tries to force the ball away. It doesn't work, but it's all on. If Pixley comes up with it now, rules knock on. Mr. Smith spotted a knock on in that movement. This will be, again, a Robins feed. Chamberlain goes for a scoot. Oh, good defence from Daryl Powell. Kept aware in that marker defence. This is Alafiyi. Parker will bring a ball. Well, I thought he was going to bring the ball wide out. Perhaps he should have done well. Parker stood offside then. That was not spotted by Mr. Smith. Eagles bunching. Forwards getting together. Fraser brings the ball in field. Jackson turns Aston in. Aston's found a hole. Nick Grimaldi. Good tackle from Hutchinson. Broadbent comes. Eagles come in short side again. Fraser on the charge. Aston dummies and then passes to Hutchinson. Again an unforced header from the Eagles. Never really carried the ball for 6. Meanwhile, Ulkayar spin the ball wide. Crane gets underneath Powell's tackle, comes in field. Stepping, gets under Maguire. Fletcher comes. Mr. Smith will rule a high challenge on Maguire. Good play from Mr. Smith. Played advantage. Just saw the high challenge. And just having a word with Bruce Maguire. Well, no real intent. Bruce Maguire, it wasn't all that high. Crane ducked underneath it. So Alafiyi again. Certainly had the lion's share of the penalties. The Robins. Hardy comes. Good tackle. Aston underneath, Powell on top. Richardson this time. Almost steps. Again, Parker working the switch this time. Tries to get Leighton away. Jackson picks up. Nice play. Cool customer Lee Jackson. That's third time in this game. He's picked the ball up in tight situations and just not panicked. Just shown the ball and stepped away from the tackler. Anthony Farrell. Jackson as Maguire turns him inside. Good defence from Rovers, but the Eagles not really spreading the ball, although they haven't had much possession. Jackson again, low, nobody at home in marker defence. Richard Price comes. Last tackle. Aston. Mr. Smith ruling a forward pass. So again, the Eagles come up with an unforced error. Hutchinson. "25 minutes gone, and most of this game played in Eagles territory. And this could be a try for Parker. It is. Richard Price couldn't get to him, and Mark Gamson's taken a knock in that movement. Well, nice play. Parker spotting that the defence was disorganised, put one across field in a good chase. Well, the Eagles continuing with the mistakes and the penalties, almost handing this game to the Rovers. Fletcher strikes the ball, looks good. 12 points to 4, the Robins lead. Well, the Eagles up against it. We just saw then, the wind is strong out there. Mark Aston kicks with the wind, and that's all on. And the Eagles need to now get some concentration going, get some big defence going, and Daryl Powell's giving a captain's lead. That's two big hits he's made in succession. This is Charlesworth. Well, the Eagles need to make the Robins kick from deep. No penalties, no mistakes. Oh, this is Hutchinson. And Fraser chases him down. Robins on a roll. Parker gives it to Crane. Crane tries to cut through. Last tackle. Chamberlain was offside then. Well, Chamberlain's lurking with intent on that blind side. Mr. Smith hasn't seen him. That's where the system that the Australians are using at the moment, where the linesman in communication with the referee can just inform the referee of those situations. Linesmen, of course, can't come on for technical offences. They can only enter the field for foul play. Parker feeds Hutchinson. Hutchinson brought down by Fraser. Fraser's offside. Well, he does that time and time again, David Fraser. He's such a big fella. He's so tall, he can't get away with creeping round the halfback in that way. Referees will penalise him. This is Alafii on a big charge. And a good tackle from Lee Jackson. Make good yards then, Alafii. Hardy. He's tackled by Broadbent and Farrell. And again, Robins come downfield with a penalty. That's Fletcher coming strong on a short ball from Parker. Lot of tackling to do with the Eagles. Chamberlain this time feeds Parker. Parker to Halafiyi. To Fletcher. Fletcher eventually tackled by Powell. Parker with a short side attack, puts one through. Oh, and Lee Jackson doing excellently well then, covering across that front line defence. Just picked that ball up as it came through. Anthony Faddle to clear his lines. 8 minutes of the first half remaining. Eagles 8 points behind. And working the ball out from their own quarter. And a relieving penalty for the Eagles. They haven't had many. This time Aston decides to tap it. Gamson gets a good ball to Stott. Stott winds his way infield. Makes a good run. On to quick play the ball now. Maguire. Anthony Faddle comes. Gets it to the 40 line. Eagles stacking deep on the right. Never had many good positions. Long ball to Powell. Powell's through the hole. Just couldn't link with Richard Price. That's better from the Eagles. Aston, dummies. Finds Richard Price. Price has got Jackson. Jackson, oh, Jackson. Just lost the ball. Nice play from the Eagles. Aston working the short side well. Jackson linking in on the tight as he does so often. So that was better from the Eagles. When you think back in this first 30 minutes, the Eagles not really set many line positions up. Hutchinson turns back within. This is Leighton, shows and spins. Eventually tackled by Maguire. Last tackle. Parker goes downfield. And again, Mark Gamson. Being indecisive under that ball. That wasn't that difficult a ball to take, but Mark Gamson didn't pick the line up at all. You wonder what Mark Gamson's had for breakfast, because he's been in superb form this last 4 to 5 weeks. Broadbent on a charge. Makes it to the halfway. Eagles need to get some score on the board. Sheridan takes the ball on the bang. Gets one to Maguire. Maguire's got Fraser. He hands it over. Oh, good skills, Bruce Maguire. Tackled. Oh, excellent play. Sheridan, Maguire. Fraser will have a go. Aston will score. Marvellous play from the Eagles. Well done, Ryan Sheridan. Superb skills from Bruce Maguire. Beautiful kick and chase and regather from Bruce Maguire. Fingertip football. Fraser and Aston did the rest. That's just what, 12-8 the Robins lead. That's just what the Eagles needed. With 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Aston to go within 2 points. Looks good. It is good. So the Eagles eventually get something going. It was Ryan Sheridan that just came in with that bit of inspirational play. Came onto a ball like a steam train. Went through, picked Bruce Maguire up. And then Maguire reveals some skills that he hasn't showed us before. Pixley is working the ball away. Anthony Farrell now. Grimaldi. Broadbent on a charge, comes in midfield, gets rid of Chamberlain. Eagles come almost to the halfway line. Well, one or two people again. Just lack of direction. Aston tied up. Powell will kick. Powell goes to the corner. Barkworth takes that on the full. So again, the Eagles need not to give any penalty away in this situation. Keep the defence tight. Defence has been superb recently. Chamberlain exposes that lack of marker defence. Parker to Leighton. Leighton tries to get Fletcher away, and I'm sorry, tries to get yeah, it was Fletcher. Farrell surges from acting half-back, so the Eagles in good position again. We'll take one more to the right in the shape of Bruce Maguire. Bruce Maguire turns Price in. Price. Oh, Lee Jackson was tracking him. That short side burst from Bruce Maguire again. Ball this time. Gamson comes in. Big gap. Gamson will go head down. Oh, good try, Mark Gamson. It looked as though there was plenty of cover then, but you don't stop the bullet from that close in. Mark Gamson knew exactly what he was doing. He went low, went straight, kept the ball free, and planted it over the whitewash. Good 4 points. Excellent play from the Eagles. That's more like the Eagles of the last 2 or 3 months. So 2 minutes of the first half remaining. The Eagles go 2 points in front, and Mark Aston with this for a 4-point lead. Well, the Eagles then back on course. Fletcher puts it deep. Stock comes up with the ball, makes it to the quarter line. Grimaldi. The Eagles need no mistakes. Need to go in at half-time in front. Jackson. Maguire just brings Broadbent on that looping run. Broadbent makes a good 10-15 metres. Jackson again looking for support. Well, showing all the skills, Lee Jackson today. Aston feeds Anthony Farrell. Farrell gets one back to Aston. Aston to Price. Price to Sheridan. Sheridan with that surge goes up the middle of the field. Good play from the Eagles. They'll go to the hand this time. It's to Maguire's gone in. Maguire to Fraser, 4 points. Oh yes, excellent play again from the Eagles. Good variation, good play. Mark Aston leading them out that time. Aston and Price breaking the line down and keeping the ball alive on the 5th tackle. And Bruce Maguire doing the absolutely the right thing. Just coming in field, holding the defence up. Taking across field with the wind. So the Eagles lead by 8 points as we go into extra time. And there goes the hooter. Well, that's a terrific comeback from the Eagles in that last 10 minutes. Trailing by 8 points and then leading by 8 points. And that's a total sickener for the OKR boys. So join us for the second half and just see if the Eagles can maintain this good form that they've shown in this last 10 minutes. Welcome back for the second half. Sun's still shining, the wind's still blowing, it's still cold. Eagles with an 8-point lead after that wonderful turnaround, that last 10 minutes. 16 points in 10 minutes. And there you see just the strength of the wind is blowing diagonally across the field to that left-hand corner as we look. Fletcher kicks the ball with the wind. Bruce Maguire comes up with it and gets to the quarter line. That's a bad pass from Lee Jackson. Ryan Sheridan. I'm sorry, Linton Stott tidying up then and taking a knock for his efforts. Robbins have a substitute on, Wardrobe's on. I'll let you know who's gone off when we figure it out. Been no announcement. Broadbent gets through that first line defence. Powell comes with a big run. Last tackle. The Eagles kick in against the wind this half. Aston puts one down. Barkworth spins and gets away. Big run from Barkworth. Looks a big boy. That's offside. Yes, 3 markers splitting quickly. Turns Richardson inside. Richardson onto Fletcher. Fletcher will eventually drag down. And let's hope the Eagles just don't start the second half. They did do the first half, making mistakes and giving penalties away. Crane, Leighton picked up by Bruce Maguire, then dragged down. Last tackle. Hutchinson onto Barkworth. That will be hand over. Richard Pixley. He's tackled by Hutchinson. Good defence from Hutchinson. Grimaldi. Powell coming again into the heart of the OKR defence, trying to break the line. This is time it's Gamson comes away. Lee Jackson hands on to Faddle. Faddle can't get a ball away. KR defence hanging onto his arm. Last tackle. So the Eagles brought the ball almost to the 40 line. Aston this time goes high. Fletcher takes it on the full. Hands on to Barkworth. Barkworth caused problems for the Eagles defence, but not this time. Well, I think Anthony Farrell's unlucky. His arm was a little bit high, but it was across his chest. But from Mr. Smith's position, it may have looked illegally high. So again, the Eagles come up with a penalty. And the Robins back in Eagles territory. Hardy comes. Tackled by Jackson. Broadbent, I should say. And again, the Robins deep into the Eagles half. This is Leighton. Alafi'i. Robin stacking deep on their right. Crane. And that's a wild ball from Wardrobe. And it looks as though it's Wayne Parker that's left the field. That's a blow for the Robins. I don't think Parker was totally fit, fully fit before the game. But Wayne Parker, a class act. Stop. Trying to evade the defence. Broadbent comes, turns one into Grimaldi. Grimaldi to Price. Here's Stott again. Oh! That's twice. The Eagles wingers have had overlaps and just haven't been able to drag those balls in. Pixley had the chance early in the first half. And Richard Stott that time. Nice combination from Broadbent and Grimaldi. Crane. Feeds Colt. Fletcher comes with a run. Robbins stacking deep on their left. Ball goes right, that then switch left. This is Crane. Wardrobe gets a nice ball away to Charlesworth, to Crane, onto Leighton. Leighton steps, gets nowhere. Eagles defence set this time. Chamberlain, that's a forward pass. Well, I think Chamberlain was unlucky then. And the Eagles making a change. Grimaldi having a rest, and Dale Lawton taking the field. So 7 minutes into the second half. Dale Lawton goes, blindside prop. Eagles come up with the ball. Fraze comes in on a charge. Fraze again beating defenders, oh unlucky. Eventually tackled by Wardrobe. Lawton, first touch of the ball. No progress with that play. Well, David Fraze then running interference for Paul Broadbent. Good defence from Hull KR, coming right up on the ball, taking the ground off the Eagles, and the ball's lost. That'll be a scrum down. And Daryl Powell took a knock in that play. Good defence from Hull KR. This will be an Hull KR scrum. Leighton leaves the field, and Charles comes on and goes straight to loose forward. Well, Charlesworth standing at full back. Fletcher goes first centre. Obviously a move on for Ulkey. It's a switch play. Well, didn't really work. Wardrobe on to Charles. That's forward pass. Mr. Smith spotted it. So the Eagles with the feed. That's untidy. Mr. Smith rules another scrum. Sheridan tries to get Powell away. Says Broadbent works his way into that hole that the Ulkey defence had left. Aston first receiver now. Here he goes. Sheridan second receiver. Oh, he's gone. Sheridan's gone. He showed the ball to Fraze. This is Gamson. Beautiful work, Ryan Sheridan, but Fraze took a knock off the ball then. Well, where were the linesmen? Aston. Well, Mr. Smith rolled forward past then. It didn't look forward to me. But it's so difficult for referees in this position. It doesn't look too good, David Fraze, but he's back on his feet. So this will be a Robin scrum. Maguire, good tackle on Charles. He felt that, did Charles. Nicalafi. And Lee Jackson was snipping around for the interception then. And again, good defence from the Eagles. Oh. Well, no progress made at all from the Robins. That's the last tackle, and they haven't progressed from winning the scrum. And that's a strange decision. Surely that was play on. Lee Jackson had just regathered the ball. Never mind. Eagles in the shape of Lawton. Lawton spotted a hole, goes midfield. 15 metres from the posts. Broadbent comes on a big charge. Brooks breaks the line. Can't get a pass in. Stockham with him. Eagles stacking deep on the left. Oh, they've got the numbers on the left if it's played quickly. Here it goes. Bruce Maguire. Richard Price working his way. Nice little combination. Again, Eagles stacking deep on the left. Oh, he spotted that. Just wanted too many times. Stott's on a big charge. Look at Linton Stott go. But Hutchison will make it, will he? Stott just can't quite get him. Good effort, Linton Stott. Unlucky. He had too much work to do. But my word, didn't Linton Stott leg it. Eagles then paying the price. They had plenty of men, but they all stood wide. And they came up flat. It was too obvious then. They had two or three shots at getting that ball wide. Well, good play from Hutchinson. Well, good play from Hutchinson. Fletcher kicks the goal, and we have a game back on our hands. Minutes into the second half, 20 points to 18, the Eagles lead, and it's been all Eagles for that 14 minutes. Aston gets his away. And Wardrobe comes up with a bad mistake. But it must be difficult to take the ball in those conditions. It's swirling about in the wind. So the Eagles with the scrum. Sheridan comes short side. Richard Price eventually tackled. Maguire comes off that short side run. The Eagles will come midfield this time. Here goes the ball. Aston to Powell. And a good tackle then from Hutchinson. Good play from the Eagles, good ball movement. And a mistake from Broadbent. And that's offside. Well, at half-time, Oldham were losing and Wakefield were losing. The two teams that Hull KR will have to climb above if they're to avoid relegation, so that will give Hull KR something to fight for, and a penalty this time against Lee Jackson. Well, the Eagles just can't afford to go giving so many penalties away. Fletcher puts the ball in just short of the 40. That's short of the Eagles' 40. Alafi comes up with a run. Alafi seems to have taken every single tap restart. And that's Fletcher, gets the ball off to Chamberlain. He's tackled by Lee Jackson, and Lee Jackson looking for another penalty then, keeping hold of Chamberlain's legs, and this time it's Aston that's offside. Well, the Eagles have got to get onside with the referee. And Fletcher will come and have a pot at goal and level the scores if it goes over. That's 2 points. $20 points all. $22 minutes of the game remaining. And Aston restarts. This time, the Eagles must. Oh, it's a terrific tackle from Lee Jackson, that pinning Hull KR back in their own quarter. The Eagles must cut the penalties out. That's another great tackle. Aston bringing Hardy down. Chamberlain comes up the ruck. He hasn't missed his opportunity to run the ball when there's been no market defence. Chamberlain. Robbins kicking this time. Fletcher comes, puts one eye, and again it's swirling all over the place. Pixley takes its second bounce, winds his way infield, meets a good tackle from Fletcher. This time Stott. Good play, Linton Stott, good determination. Oh, that's a knock on. Unfortunate for Linton Stott. He ran strong. That's another mistake though for the Eagles. The Robins stacking deep either side of the scrum. So Crane will have options when he gets the ball back. Well, Mr. Smith rolling. Ball had not gone in. This time Fletcher comes. Maguire meets him. Fletcher keeps on his feet. So, Eagles defending. Wardrobe. Alafihi. Tackled by Jackson underneath. Last drop goal. Charles just puts the 1 point over. And that again came from an unforced header by the Eagles. Linton Stott dropping the ball. And that's out on the full. Well, a catalogue of errors from the Eagles. Forward passes, drop balls. Lots and lots of penalties. Fletcher puts it in touch. Robbins again on the attack. Alafihi first up from the tap restart. And the Eagles back into their own quarter. This is Hardy. Good tackle, Dale Lawton. Hutchinson comes in field. Almost breaks the line. Crane. Nice little kick. Gamson under pressure from Barkworth. Eagles to drop out against the wind, and the Ulker supporters come alive. Mark Aston gets it out almost to the 40 line. Crane comes up with the ball, and again the Eagles defending. Eagles lined up on their quarter line. Charlesworth comes. Oh, big shoulder, Bruce Maguire. Right into Charlesworth's ribs. Richardson. Well, that was one of those balls that's just down to the referee's call. Did the ball travel forward or didn't it? Some referees would say play on. Mr. Smith ruled a knock on that one. Anthony Farrell comes with the ball. Big defence from the Rovers. Lawton, oh. Well, I don't know where Dale Wharton was looking. He wasn't looking at the ball. Came on the charge, didn't keep his eye on the ball. Nick Alafii, tackled by Daryl Powell. Robbins, everything to play for. Will this be the Eagles' 7-match winning run coming to an end? Fletcher comes up with the ball. Good tackle, Richard Price. Colt comes in field. Well, certainly lifted the game up. Rovers, since they got that interception try. Fletcher comes on that midfield drive. Last tackle. Will Robin go for a drop goal? No. Crane throws one through. Stott takes it on the full. Excellent play, Linton Stott. Good cover. Just took the pressure off Mark Gamson. And Gamson comes away with the ball. And the Robins right on top of their game. This time Dale Lawton takes the ball. Drives it out to the quarter line. That's good driving play. 15 minutes of the game left. The Eagles a point down. 21 points to 20. And it's play on, says Mr. Smith. Daniel Powell comes in field. Fraser away. Fraser's gone. Last tackle. That's a knock on. Oh, knock back, says Mr. Smith. Well, again, that's one of those situations that's just down to the referee's call. Good play, the Rovers. Colt gets Charlesworth away. Well, this game hotting up. Tempo of the game certainly picked up in this last 5 or 6 minutes. This is where the Eagles need to be defending, but they need to defend it with discipline. And just not give any penalties away at all. Alafii. Last tackle. Fletcher puts the ball deep. Pixley to run into pack defence. Tries to get round Barkworth, but he doesn't, and he's going to be carried into touch. That's a penalty. The tackle was completed. Mr. Smith, the call held. You can't pick the man up and carry him from that. Lawton. Well, the Eagles certainly pick the defence up. There's more intensity in the defence. These penalties are totally unnecessary. Dale Lawton being pegged for not playing the ball correctly. I was saying that the Robins have picked their intensity up in defence. They're moving much quicker and coming in stronger. Defending that 1 point. And Fletcher puts the ball in just short of the Eagles' quarter line. Chamberlain taps. This time it's Alafii again. Wardrobe turns the ball into Chamberlain. Wardrobe comes away from acting half-back, is dragged down, and it's a penalty for dragging the ball. "11 minutes of the game remaining. And Fletcher to put the Robins 3 points up. And Fletcher calling for assistance with the kick, wanting someone to hold the ball. Deciding against it. So the Eagles 3 points down now. And let's play on. That's a mistake from Richardson. Lawton comes up with the ball. Eagles need to keep the cool. Anthony Farrell goes to the post. Eagles with the tight formation. Broadbent comes this time. Tries to set the play up. He's driven back. Eagles stacking deep on their left. Got plenty of men on the left. Jackson turns Maguire inside. Eagles again still stacked deep on the left. Aston first receiver, Sheridan second receiver. Here goes the ball. Sheridan looking to make that cut through. Didn't come off. Aston now turns Broadbent inside. Broadbent dummies, steadies, hands on to Lawton. Eagles not really deep, standing flat. That cost them 6 points last time. Richard Price toes that one through. No real depth on the Eagles line then. But the Eagles still in good position. This is Barkworth. Ran strongly all day. It's a good tackle from Lee Jackson. 3 tackles gone, 4 tackles gone. This is Hardy. Last tackle. Eagles contain the Robins this time. Fletcher gets that ball away. Gamson comes up with it. And he's tackled by Charles. Pixley's found a hole. Pixley tackled by Hutchinson. So the Eagles still in good position. Aston down to Broadbent. Broadbent onto Price. Price, Aston. Chances. Sheridan. Sheridan tried to get that ball to Price, but he was knocked down by a Rovers player. Cole runs the ball from acting half-back. This is Charles. Good tackle from Dale Lawton. No penalties. Come on, the Eagles. Don't want any penalties. 8 minutes left. Alafi taking his time to get to his feet. Well, Eagles still defending with strength. Last tackle. Fletcher goes high. Lots of chasers on the ball. This time Gamson comes up with it and feeds David Fraze. Fraze is going down the touchline. He's got away. It's going to be 4. It's going to be 6. Here goes 6 points. Oh, take a bow, Mark Gamson. Well, Mark Gamson repaid the Eagles for those mistakes he made in the first half. Took that ball under extreme pressure, kept alive, fed Fraze, and Fraze did what he certainly can do. He legged it. all the way down the field, cleared the cover, went under the posts. My word. But if they come up with the 2 points today, it's just another indication of the great character in the side. Mark Aston having difficulty planting the ball, and it's still blowing strong as the wind. So Mark Aston to go 3 points in front with 5 minutes to go. That's so 26 points to 23, the Eagles lead. But the game's still not over. You just don't feel secure about the Eagles at the moment with the way they've been giving penalties away. Aston feeds Powell. Powell gets to the quarter line. Aston again. Eagles need a good steady 6, a good kick and a good chase, and then some containment to see this last 5 minutes off. Sheridan spotted a hole. Sheridan working his way right through the heart of the defence. Can't get a pass in, still going. Great determination, Ryan Sheridan. Well, he went 15 metres then with Robins players on his back. And the Eagles this time come up with a mistake late in the tackle count. Well, it's been one of those days for the Eagles. And Mark Gamson leaving the field, and Hayes goes on the wing. Stock goes to full back. Fletcher gets one to Colt. Colt loses the ball. Lee Jackson comes up with it. I'm sorry, it's Broadbent that comes up with the ball. Anthony Farrell. Again, the Eagles need another steady 6. And a good kick. Lawton hits the line, carries the ball, makes it to the 40. Good charge from Dale Lawton. Powell coming on the short side. He spotted a hole. Oh, good ball from Lee Jackson. Just nobody coming on the inside. Last tackle. Aston just pops one through. Colt comes up. Good chase from Hayes and Price. Well, this is where the Eagles need to give no penalties away. Just contain Hulkayard here. Halafii onto Barkworth. Barkworth almost underneath Maguire's tackle. Leighton comes on. And a good tackle from Maguire. Wardrobe wanted more time than he had. Last tackle. Well, that's good containment from the Eagles. No progress made by the Robins. Fletcher puts one up. It's anybody's ball. Then Wardrobe again kicks across through. Mark Aston in secondary defence, covering. Good chasing, and that will be a line drop out. The Eagles taking the time with the kick. 3 minutes of the game remaining. That's a good drop out from Mark Aston. Taken by Charles, hands on to Barkworth. Barkworth winds up, meets Anthony Farrell, and he's stopped dead. Alafihi, hands on to Wardrobe to Crane. Crane makes a push. Eagles readjusting the defence. Leighton feeds Hutchinson. Hutchinson gets the ball to Chamberlain. Well, Ulkayar not finished yet. Fletcher kicks one through. Oh, great play, Lee Jackson. Lee Jackson. Well, he's an all-action, all-thinking man, Lee Jackson. He figured that out. He tracked back across the defence and took that toe through from Mike Fletcher. So the Eagles running the clock down. Anthony Farrell. Last tackle as we go into injury time. Mark Aston puts the ball deep downfield. Barkworth comes up and it's play on now. He throws one to Wardrobe. Wardrobe to Coults. Nothing to lose, Ulkayar. Chamberlain to Hutchinson. Wardrobe to Leighton. Leighton onto Barkworth. Good tackle from Richard Price. Dislodged the ball. I think it was Charles. Took a big shoulder from Richard Price. And we're playing extra time now. Broadbent carries the ball over the 40. Well, the 2 points are in the bag for the Eagles now, I think. Lee Jackson gets one to Ryan Sheridan. Sheridan on good support. Richard Price was with him. Aston to Maguire. It's found stop. This will be a try. Nice play. That's the game. The Uta will go after the kick. Well, Aston and Maguire trying to set something up. I don't think that was quite the intention, but that doesn't matter. The result is the same, 4 points. So Mark Aston with what will be the last kick of the game. Going for his 4th goal, and we're going to need someone to hold the ball. And David Fraser gets the job. Mark Aston kicks that, the wind blows it, holds it up. And there goes the Hooter. That's another 2 points, and the Eagles extend their First Division winning run to 8, which is quite remarkable. That takes a lot of doing in the First Division, and maintain that 6th spot in the table. And what a remarkable game it's been. Eagles going behind twice, and with just 10 minutes of the game remaining, came up with that try from David Fraser. So join us next week when we go to Leeds to see if we can extend this run to 9 and catch Leeds. A little bit cold as they may be thinking of that trip to Wembley. So from myself, Mick McGowan and Mike and Video, we hope you enjoyed our coverage and we hope you'll be with us next week.